Sometimes the attack gets stronger because your breakthrough is closer than you think. You may be asking yourself why everything suddenly feels heavy, why your peace is being tested, why old fears are coming back, why distractions are louder than before, why people, problems, and pressure seem to rise up at the exact moment you are trying to pray, heal, and move forward. But do not misread the battle. This attack is not always proof that you are losing. Sometimes it is proof that the enemy knows something is about to shift, because the enemy does not fight what carries no threat. He does not pressure what has no purpose. He attacks the place where God is working because he wants you tired enough to quit before the door opens. So if the battle has been intense, do not assume God has left you. By the end of this message, you will understand why the attack increased, why your breakthrough is still possible, and why this is not the moment to give up. The attack is not proof that God left you. It may feel that way because pressure has a way of making God's silence feel louder. When the battle gets heavy, your mind starts asking questions your faith already answered. Where is God? Why is this happening now? Why am I trying to do better but things feel harder? Why am I praying more but feeling more resistance? But do not confuse resistance with abandonment. Sometimes God is working in places you cannot see yet. The seed is hidden before it breaks through the ground. The child is hidden before birth. The answer is often forming before it appears. And just because you cannot see movement does not mean heaven is still. The enemy wants you to misread this season. He wants you to believe that pressure means God has forgotten you. He wants you to think delay means denial. He wants you to assume that because the battle is loud, God must be far away. But that is not true. God can be close even when the storm is loud. God can be working even when your emotions feel tired. God can be preparing a door even while you are still standing in a hallway that feels empty. The attack is not proof that God left you. It may be proof that the enemy knows God is moving. So do not let one difficult season rewrite everything you know about God's faithfulness. Do not let one attack convince you that the promise is dead. And do not let temporary pressure make you walk away from what God is still preparing, because the attack has a purpose. It wants you to quit before the door opens. The enemy wants you to quit before the door opens. That is why the pressure often feels strongest right before the shift. Not because God has changed his mind, and not because the promise has disappeared, but because the enemy wants exhaustion to start sounding like wisdom. He wants you to say, maybe I should stop praying. He wants you to say, maybe I believed for nothing. He wants you to say, maybe this breakthrough was never meant for me. And if he can get you to agree with that lie, he does not have to destroy what God prepared. He only has to convince you to walk away before it arrives. That is why this season requires discernment, because not every tired thought is truth. Not every heavy emotion is direction. Not every closed door is the final answer. Sometimes the hallway feels long because God is preparing you for something you cannot see yet. The enemy knows that if you keep standing, keep praying, keep obeying, and keep trusting God, you will eventually step into a place where the same old fear cannot control you anymore. So he attacks your patience. He attacks your expectation. He attacks your ability to believe that anything good can still happen. But delay is not defeat, and pressure is not permission to quit. Do not let one hard week make you abandon a promise you have prayed over for months. Do not let one painful season erase every time God has carried you before. Do not let the enemy use temporary pressure to make a permanent decision for your life. The enemy does not always need to destroy the blessing. Sometimes he only needs to convince you to walk away before it arrives. But if he cannot make you quit completely, he tries to attack the exact place where God is working. The attack often reveals where God is working. Pay attention to the area that feels most under pressure. Sometimes the place being attacked is the same place God is preparing to restore, strengthen, or bless. If your peace is being attacked, maybe God is teaching you a deeper peace that cannot be controlled by people, problems, or pressure. If your faith is being attacked, maybe God is stretching your trust, because the next door will require you to believe Him beyond what you can see. If your identity is being attacked, maybe God is rebuilding your confidence so you stop seeing yourself through the words of people who wounded you. If your focus is being attacked, maybe God is preparing direction, and the enemy wants you distracted before you hear it clearly. If your hope is being attacked, maybe breakthrough is closer than your emotions are telling you. The place under attack may be the place God is about to restore. That is why you cannot panic every time pressure touches your life. You have to ask, what is this attack trying to make me forget? Is it trying to make you forget God's promise? Is it trying to make you forget who you are? Is it trying to make you forget how far God has already brought you? Because the enemy wants you to focus on the pain, but God wants you to recognize the pattern. The attack is not always there to destroy you. Sometimes it is exposing the exact place where God is building something stronger. And if this message is speaking to your season, subscribe for more videos that help you heal, stay silent, and trust what God is doing. Because once the enemy cannot stop what God is doing inside you, he will try to distract you from what God is doing ahead of you. Distraction often comes right before breakthrough. Because if the enemy cannot stop what God is doing, he will try to pull your eyes away from it. That is why the noise can suddenly increase. Old wounds start speaking again. Old people try to return. Arguments appear from nowhere. Fear becomes louder. Temptation feels stronger. Your mind begins running in circles, and before you realize it, you are spending more time thinking about the attack than trusting the God who is bringing you through it. That is the goal of distraction. It wants your attention. It wants your focus. It wants your peace. Because whatever has your focus begins to shape your faith. If you focus only on the storm, you will begin to believe the storm has more power than the Savior standing in front of you. Peter was walking on water until the wind stole his attention. The storm did not remove Jesus. It only pulled Peter's eyes away from him. And that is what the enemy tries to do before breakthrough. He wants you so focused on who hurt you, who left you, what went wrong, what might fail, and what has not happened yet, that you forget God is still leading you forward. So guard your focus. Do not give every problem your whole heart. Do not let every argument pull you into panic. Do not let old voices drag you back into old reactions. Do not spend more time studying the attack than trusting the God who already knows the way through it. Because if your focus is being attacked, your focus must be important. And the breakthrough ahead will require your eyes to stay on God, even while the wind is loud. Breakthrough requires a stronger version of you, because God is not only preparing the door, He is preparing the person who will walk through it. Sometimes we think breakthrough is only about the situation changing. The job comes, the prayer is answered, the relationship is restored, the opportunity opens, the money arrives, the healing happens, the door finally moves. But God sees deeper than the door. He sees the heart that must carry what is coming next. Because if the breakthrough arrives while fear is still controlling you, fear may follow you into the blessing. If the door opens while you are still reacting to every attack, the enemy may use the same old triggers to steal your peace in a new season. If God gives you more before He strengthens you within, you may receive the breakthrough but still live like someone who is broken. So before God brings you into what is next, He begins building something inside you: endurance, patience, discernment, self-control, faith that does not collapse every time pressure rises. This is why the attack feels so personal. It is touching the places God is strengthening. It is pressing against the parts of you that used to panic, chase, overthink, and give up too quickly. But this time, you are learning to respond differently. You are learning to pray before reacting. You are learning to protect your peace without guilt. You are learning not to run back to old cycles just because the waiting season feels lonely. You are learning that pressure does not always mean punishment. Sometimes pressure means preparation. God is not only preparing the breakthrough for you, He is preparing you for the breakthrough. So do not make permanent decisions in temporary pressure. Do not quit because one day feels heavy. Do not return to what God already delivered you from. Stay faithful in the hidden place. Keep praying, keep healing, keep obeying, because the battle around you is not the full story. God is doing something within you. And once you understand that, the attack no longer looks like defeat. It starts looking like confirmation. The pressure is a sign that you must stand firm, not run, not quit, not return to the old version of yourself just because the battle became uncomfortable. Because there are moments when the enemy cannot stop what God is preparing, so he tries to shake your position before the breakthrough arrives. He wants you to move out of faith and into fear. He wants you to step away from peace and back into panic. He wants you to make decisions from exhaustion instead of obedience. But this is not the moment to abandon the place where God told you to stand. Stand firm when your emotions are loud. Stand firm when the answer feels delayed. Stand firm when people misunderstand your silence. Stand firm when old fears try to sound like wisdom. Stand firm when the attack tries to convince you that nothing is changing. Because something is changing. You are changing. Your faith is becoming stronger. Your reactions are becoming slower. Your discernment is becoming sharper. Your prayers are becoming deeper. Your peace is becoming harder to steal. And that is why the attack has been so intense. The enemy is not just afraid of what God is bringing to you. He is afraid of who you are becoming through this process. So do not let the attack make you abandon the place where God told you to stand. Do not let fear make the decision. Do not pressure become your prophet. Do not let delay cancel your expectation. God have not brought you this far just to leave you in the middle of the battle. Your breakthrough may be closer than your feelings are telling you. So stand firm, pray again, believe again, breathe again, and trust that the God who started this work knows exactly how to finish it. So if the attack has been heavy, do not let it convince you that your breakthrough is impossible. The pressure does not have the final word. The fear does not have the final word. The delay does not have the final word. God is still working, even when the battle is loud. He is still preparing, even when the door has not opened yet. He is still strengthening you, even when your emotions feel tired. This attack may be intense, but it cannot cancel what God has already decided to bring into your life. So stand firm, protect your peace, guard your focus. Do not run back to old cycles. Do not make permanent decisions in temporary pressure. Do not let the enemy use one hard season to make you forget the faithfulness of God. Pray this in your heart. Lord, strengthen me in this attack. Help me protect my peace, resist fear, stay focused, and trust that you are bringing me closer to the breakthrough you have prepared. Give me endurance when I feel tired, wisdom when I feel confused, and faith when the pressure feels heavy. Help me stand firm until I see what you are doing. This attack means your breakthrough is near, so do not quit in the place where God is teaching you to stand. And if this message spoke to your heart, watch the next video, Why the Enemy Attacks Before Restoration.